Western philosophy is often said to have begun with Plato, who lived in Athens from 427 to 347 BCE. Plato began the Academy, which was a precursor to universities where privileged Athenians could send their sons for formal education consisting of philosophy, mathematics, and logic. It's somewhat deceptive, however, to say that Plato was the father of Western philosophy, since many of his writings present ideas attributed to another figure in Athens at around the same time, Socrates. Plato wrote primarily in dialogue form, which means that they often appear more like plays than philosophical treatises. A fairly large portion of these dialogues take as their main character Socrates. These are called the Socratic dialogues. Socrates lived in Athens his whole life from 469 to 399 BCE. The philosophical works we are reading from Plato all have to do with Socrates' life and death. Socrates never wrote anything himself. According to what we have in Plato's works, as well as other philosophers and dramatists writing around the time of his life, we know that he was loved by some and hated by some. Generally hated by those who were made to look like fools by Socrates' method of questioning, what has been called the Socratic method or the elenchus. This method is really just a way to test whether someone really knows what he or she claims to know. There are also instances of Socrates using this method to discover new truths as well. There have been questions about what Plato's relation to Socrates was. Was Plato so close to Socrates that he was able to write down what Socrates said in public, since Socrates didn't write anything himself? Or was the character of Socrates just a mouthpiece for Plato's own ideas? Plato's dialogues not incorporating Socrates show him to be an intellectual powerhouse, so he wasn't just a mere scribe copying Socrates' pithy comments. Plato is responsible for raising many, many philosophical issues still discussed today. He is probably best known for the following: his theory of forms, his description of the perfect state found in the Republic, and his idea of the unity of virtues. For Plato, knowledge is the key virtue. Without knowledge, no life is worth living. This is why, in the works we're reading, Socrates takes much care in trying to show that all of the other things that people seem to care most about are worthless if they don't know the truth. We can then ask, after reading these works, whether Socrates seems to think he himself knows the truth.